Blueface went online with a shocking claim that immediately went viral, alleging that you and Offset had slept together behind Cardi B's back. Neither you nor Cardi had publicly addressed it until now. Cardi responded cautiously, saying she did not know whether the claim was true and emphasized that the matter was personal and over between her and those involved. That was her statement, plain and simple. But hold on, stop everything. This is serious. The revelation has sent shockwaves across social media, leaving Cardi B blindsided and igniting what many are calling the most explosive betrayal scandal of 2025. Chrisean Rock have now admitted to something no one could have anticipated, a confession so raw, so intense, and so deliberately provocative that fans are labeling it the ultimate act of revenge. The fallout is immediate, the internet is ablaze, conversations are frantic, and the public is struggling to process just how deep and vicious this revelation truly is. She went live with no filter, no remorse, and tears streaming as she delivered pure venom. Chrisean Rock dropped the kind of revelation that makes the world stop. She and Chrissy both admitted to sleeping with Offset. And she did not just blurt it out, she painted the whole picture. The where, the when, and most importantly, the why. Yes, Cardi B, your name was at the center of it. According to Chrisean, she had been mocked, targeted, and undermined by Cardi behind closed doors. So in her words, this was payback. Her tone was sharp. She thought she could laugh at me behind my back. Well, her man was right in my bed. Within minutes, the internet detonated. Offset stayed silent. Cardi's camp froze. But the cameras never stopped rolling, and piece by piece, more began to surface. The burning questions came instantly. Why did Chrisean wait so long to speak? What role, if any, did Cardi play in Blueface's recent meltdown? And why are industry insiders whispering that this was not Offset's first betrayal, but simply the first time someone exposed it so mercilessly? This situation is more than messy, it is volatile, and it is unfolding in real time. Long before the livestream that shattered timelines, rumors had already been drifting through industry corridors. Hushed conversations suggested something had happened between Offset and Chrisean. Quiet warnings hinted that Cardi had overstepped with her own behind-the-scenes antics. A storm was gathering, though no one knew exactly when or where it would break. Now it has, and its impact has spread across the internet like a shockwave. But let us step back, because this story was not born on TikTok or in the middle of a live stream. It began offstage at exclusive gatherings, in VIP corners where cameras were banned, in private rooms where secrets carried more weight than money. From the start, Chrisean Rock and Cardi B were never friends, despite what fans might have assumed. People imagined there was at least a layer of respect between them, two bold, fearless women who demanded respect in a male-dominated industry. But Chrisean's confession has flipped that narrative upside down. According to her, the respect never existed. What the world thought was just industry shade turned out to be a performance, a mask hiding something much deeper. Behind the scenes, Cardi B was allegedly mocking her, tearing into her personal life, and even calling her ghetto trash in private group chats with other female rappers. According to Chrisean, the ridicule was constant. She felt like a joke, a circus act nobody in the business would ever take seriously. But then came the unexpected twist. Offset, Cardi's own husband, had not just been sitting back watching the drama unfold. If Chrisean's words are true, he stepped into the storm. It began subtly. A single fire emoji dropped under one of her Instagram thirst traps. She brushed it off. Then came the direct messages. Short, encouraging notes like, "You're better than what they say about you," or "Keep grinding, they're scared of you." At first, she claims, it felt harmless, just words of support from someone who saw her being torn down. But weeks of quiet check-ins turned into something else. And then came the night in Miami, the turning point. Cardi had just thrown fresh shade on a podcast, and in the wake of that sting, Chrisean says everything with Offset shifted in a way no one could have predicted. She went live and casually dropped a line that shifted the room's energy. "I don't hang with messy girls." By then, I was already fired up, the liquor buzzing in my system. That same night, Offset showed up at the party, and we ended up talking. He was kind, smoother than expected, and before long, one thing rolled into the next. She paused midstream, smirked, bit her lip, and let it spill. Boom. The internet exploded on impact. But this firestorm did not appear overnight. It had roots stretching back more than a year. Rewind to late 2024. Chrisean Rock dominated headlines, not with music but with chaos, courtroom drama, heated interviews, public meltdowns, and the constant tug-of-war with Blueface. She became branded as unpredictable, volatile, and risky for endorsements. Meanwhile, Cardi B was carefully reshaping her image. She was stepping into mogul territory, her makeup line thriving, a new reality show in the works, and award nods piling up. She was all about polish, control, and power. On paper, they were two women walking different lanes, but in reality, an unspoken rivalry simmered. Industry whispers say Cardi deliberately drew a line. A PR insider revealed she made sure brands knew she didn't want her name tied to Chrisean. Quietly, doors started shutting. Collab requests vanished, teams unfollowed, and whispers turned into a soft industry freeze. Chrisean noticed every detail, the missed opportunities, the subtle shade, and even the petty moves, like blog posts dragging her while Cardi's burner account quietly dropped a like. Then came the breaking point. In February 2025, Cardi appeared on a podcast where she was asked about rising female rappers. When Chrisean's name came up, Cardi chuckled, paused, and said, "I don't know her. I'm too grown for the circus." That was the final sting, the public dismissal. Behind the curtain, Chrisean unraveled. She lashed out at mutual friends, unfollowed Cardi's stylist, and began leaving cryptic posts online. "Keep that same energy when I see you. Boo. Y'all love fake girls who act classy and move nasty." At first, people brushed it off as typical Chrisean chaos. But those who were watching closely knew something bigger was brewing. At first, most people dismissed the whispers as nothing more than internet chatter, but behind the scenes, Offset had already made his move. Sources claim he and Chrisean were seen together privately on multiple occasions in recent months, with one blurry paparazzi shot outside an Atlanta studio later sparking new speculation as fans zoomed in to identify Chrisean's bag and Offset's old Maybach. What made the story even louder was Offset's silence. No tweets, no posts, no subtle denials, while Cardi B remained equally quiet. Chrisean, however, broke the silence during a live stream, admitting she had stayed quiet for months out of guilt. But once her name was dragged, she decided to strike back, framing it not as petty revenge, but as a calculated move to deliver a headline too big to erase. The bombshell alone was explosive, but it was only the beginning, because leaked texts, burner account screenshots, and a cryptic Cardi B response that fans believed was aimed squarely at Chrisean all poured fuel on the fire, turning what seemed like gossip into a storm of calculated destruction. Chrissy backed up her claims with receipts, screenshots, voice notes, and even Cash App records, and midway through her live, she challenged doubters by turning her camera toward another phone, scrolling through messages allegedly from Offset's verified account that, though blurry, were clear enough to reveal jaw-dropping lines like, "You need someone who actually listens to you. Can't lie, I think about you a lot. I know this would hurt her, but I don't even care anymore." Then came the voice note, unmistakably Offset's soft drawl and lazy tone, saying he was tired of fake energy and wanted peace with Chrissy, which sent fans into a frenzy as Twitter exploded, shocked that he might have betrayed Cardi yet again. But the bigger twist was that Chrissy was not the first to leak it. According to a now-deleted Instagram story, Offset himself admitted to a friend that he had got caught slipping, and rapper Lil Flips, tied to Offset's camp, went live casually confirming that he had warned Offset not to mess with Chrissy because she would expose him, only for Offset to shrug it off, even saying he was done playing Cardi's PR husband. That revelation reignited long-held rumors that Offset and Cardi's marriage was more business than romance, a partnership tied to brand deals and social power rather than intimacy, and insiders now claim Offset has been drifting, partying more and working in studios where Cardi is never invited, and, in resurfaced footage from a late April session, Offset can be heard rapping while Chrissy is seen walking past with a bottle of Casamigos. A clip once overlooked, but now dissected as further evidence of a scandal that only keeps unfolding. Behind the curtains, Cardi B's camp is reportedly scrambling, though publicly they remain silent. A leaked email, allegedly from her PR team to a brand partner, requested that all campaigns featuring Offset be placed on hold until further clarification, a move that signals brand deals are pausing and financial stakes are in jeopardy. While Cardi's side scrambles, Chrisean Rock is thriving. Her live stream shattered previous records, pulling in over 1.8 million viewers within a single day, attracting new followers and sparking fan pages with names like Offset Rock and Bardish Revenge. She is also fanning the flames by teasing a new track titled Circus Act, clearly aimed at Cardi after her infamous Circus Girl jab during a podcast. The lyrics are unapologetically sharp. You threw dirt on my name. Now it's diamonds in my bed. Your crown for the night. Now you tweeting instead. Your man said I'm peace, so I left your house in pieces, leaving fans convinced it is a diss track masked as a club anthem. And to make matters worse for Cardi, it actually hits hard. Tensions escalated further when a burner account, believed by many to belong to Cardi based on IP traces and posting style, fired back on X with a warning: don't get too comfy. This little moment gone past. We not the same. Then came another twist. Blueface, Chrisean's ex and chaotic on-again off-again partner, joined in with a cryptic post. Didn't I tell y'all she was built for this savage life? Offset ain't even the first rapper. Wait, hold on, ain't even the first. A statement that left fans speculating and connecting dots to names like Lil Baby and DaBaby, only deepening the storm around everyone involved. Rumors have a way of circling back when the timing is most dangerous, and whispers about Drake once sending Chrisean flowers after her Zeus debut have resurfaced at the peak of the storm, intensifying the spectacle surrounding her. For many, this little piece of gossip feels less like a memory and more like gasoline tossed onto an already raging fire, raising questions about just how deep the industry's curiosity about Chrisean truly runs. Yet, despite the chaos swirling around her name, she moves with a chilling composure, almost as if every piece of drama had been carefully predicted. Her most recent livestream ended with a declaration that froze the internet in place. This ain't about clout. It's about revenge. She tried to erase me, so I erased her piece. In those few words, she framed the entire saga not as petty competition, but as a cold war of survival and retribution, painting herself as the hunted who became the hunter. Now, with tensions at a boiling point, the spotlight has shifted onto Cardi. For weeks, her silence has been deafening, but insiders reveal that she is preparing to break it in the most explosive way possible, through a tell-all podcast appearance that is already being teased as a scorched earth response. The anticipation is suffocating. This is not a matter of if she will speak, but how severe her retaliation will be when she finally does. Could her words strategically dismantle Chrisean's momentum in one move, or has Rock stirred so much chaos that not even Cardi's star power can silence it? That uncertainty is what makes the waiting unbearable. Fans and critics alike are circling the date, knowing that whatever Cardi says could change the entire trajectory of this feud. Meanwhile, Jada's silence only deepens the mystery. She has remained absent from the conversation, almost ghost-like, as if she knows that any misstep could drag her deeper into the quicksand. Yet in that silence, speculation thrives. Every screenshot, every shadowy claim about unseen receipts, adds another layer to the paranoia building across social media. With Chrisean teasing a final tape drop rumored to contain career-ending evidence, the entire industry is bracing for impact. Nobody knows whether it will be a leaked call, a compromising video, or a damning set of documents, but the mere promise has left artists, fans, and executives alike glued to their screens. And then there is Offset. His silence lingers heavier than any voice note, more telling than any press release. His absence from the studio, his bodyguard's cryptic "pray for bro" message, and his refusal to clarify his position have left fans speculating wildly. It is as though he has become the shadow that haunts this narrative, louder in his disappearance than he ever could be in words. The tension is unbearable. Cardi's response is incoming, Chrisean's trap is still unfolding, and Offset's silence hangs like the final note of a song that has not yet dropped. The entire world is waiting, and everyone knows the next move could shatter more than just reputations. It could redraw the entire landscape of hip-hop. And then it happened. Cardi didn't clap back with a tweet, a verse, or even an IG rant. Instead, she detonated the moment with precision, sliding unannounced onto the Big Facts Unfiltered podcast. Over 400,000 fans tuned in within minutes, desperate for her side. She appeared flawless, unshaken, her tone cool enough to freeze the room. When asked directly about Offset and Chrisean, Cardi barely flinched. I knew weeks ago. I just ain't say nothing, I was waiting to see how far she'd go. I needed to know who I was really dealing with. The silence that followed was deafening. Then she cut deeper. He wasn't hers. He's mine. Still is. 'Cause I'm the one with the empire. She the one with receipts and no respect. It wasn't denial. It wasn't defense. It was domination, Cardi flipping the narrative from victim to queenpin. But the saga didn't stop there. Almost as if timed, a new leak exploded across Twitter and Discord, a grainy studio video allegedly recorded by someone inside Offset's circle. The visuals were blurred, but the audio was painfully clear. Offset's voice, "I told you not to bring this public." Chrisean's reply, "I ain't your secret, bruh. She was dissing me, what you expect?" Offset fired back, "You ain't supposed to fall in love." Offset tried to downplay the situation, it was just, but Chrisean cut him off with venom. Just what? Just revenge? Just sex? Just war with your wife? That moment froze the internet. Suddenly, this wasn't about a messy fling, it hinted at something darker, more tactical. Was Offset using Chrisean as a weapon in his marriage battles? Or had Chrisean been a willing player, caught up in a game much bigger than herself? Then Blueface poured gasoline on the fire. Hopping on IG Live, shirtless and smirking, he taunted, "Y'all think she crazy now? She just warming up. Cardi better watch her back, she don't even know the half." Then came the bomb. She got more tapes, bro Offset ain't the only one. Instantly, chaos erupted. More tapes? Who else was caught in her crossfire? Speculation exploded, rumors that Chrisean had been quietly recording encounters with other rappers, with names like Lil Baby, Ghana, and even a legendary West Coast heavyweight whispered in comment threads. The frenzy only intensified when a former friend, posting under the handle at Rock Confidant, leaked voice notes allegedly pulled from Chrisean's own phone. In them, she coldly declared, "If Cardi wanna call me a joke, let me become her punchline. I'ma make her bleed every time she logs on." Then came the line that instantly cemented itself in internet history. She thought she had a man. I showed her she had a storyline. Savage. Within minutes, TikTokers remixed it, YouTubers dissected it frame by frame, and meme pages plastered Cardi's face under mocking captions. But while the internet laughed and reposted, something more serious was already moving behind the scenes. Sources tied to WME confirmed Cardi's legal team had sent a cease and desist order to Chrisean, citing leaked voice notes, unauthorized footage, defamation, and emotional distress, arguing she was monetizing chaos at Cardi's expense. The spectacle was no longer just social media warfare, it was turning into a legal battlefield. Word on the street is that Cardi's camp believes Chrisean orchestrated the entire spectacle as a calculated stunt to push her music and build hype for her reality show pilot, and leaked emails from her management allegedly back that up, mapping out the live stream's timing for maximum visibility and even suggesting Offset's confession could be used to ride trending algorithms. If true, that means Chrisean was not simply exposing Offset, she was weaponizing him. But she was quick to fire back, dropping a bold Instagram story that read lawsuit and warning that she had her own evidence to bring to court before teasing midnight. My side. Full receipts. Offset included. Instantly, the internet locked in, waiting for the bomb to drop. While fans speculated, Cardi fueled the fire with a single cryptic tweet, "Keep poking the dragon. Watch what I breathe out." Meanwhile, Offset seemed to vanish, no posts, no appearances, tour dates quietly pulled, and whispers claiming he had spiraled mentally after losing control of the story. Then, just before midnight, Chrisean raised the stakes with a chilling black screen video flashing 3 names in blood-red text: Offset, Cardi Jada, and Chief Wada, Lil Baby's ex. The inclusion of Jada threw everyone into shock, sparking rumors that Chrisean was about to expose a hidden tie between her and Offset. At that point, it was no longer just about infidelity, it was about tearing down Cardi's image, dismantling Offset's loyalty, and dragging an entire circle of women into a storm of betrayal, revenge, and legacy drama fit for Atlanta's most explosive saga. When the clock struck 12, Chrisean's post dropped, and the internet shook. That midnight release did not just spark chatter, it split the hip-hop community wide open. In the hours that followed, speculation turned into frenzy, and whispers turned into full-blown debates. Once screenshots, private messages, leaked voice notes, and even Offset's backseat confession hit the timeline, it was no longer entertainment gossip. It had escalated into open war. Cardi B's loyal fan base, known for their fierce defense, went on the attack. Hashtags flooded X and Instagram. Hashtag We Ride for Cardi. Hashtag Offset Ain't It. Hashtag Cancel. Hashtag Clout Chaser Energy. Some aimed their anger at Chrisean for engineering the chaos, others at Offset for betraying the woman who built him up. But the general mood was the same: everyone wanted consequences. As fans pointed out, Cardi carried Offset through storms, and now his actions had made him look like the most humiliating partner in modern music. This was no longer a cheating scandal, it had become psychological warfare. Then came a twist no one expected. A verified account claiming to represent Cardi's legal team tweeted, "We are actively pursuing legal consequences for unauthorized recordings and malicious defamation." The post vanished in less than 10 minutes, but not before screenshots spread everywhere. That single sentence sent rumors into overdrive. Were Cardi and Offset headed for divorce? To make matters worse, a figure named Sasha, once involved in PR for Migos, fueled the flames during a Clubhouse discussion. She claimed Cardi and Offset's marriage had been fragile since 2023, suggesting Offset always felt overshadowed by her success, while Chrisean's attention made him feel powerful again. TikTok creators quickly latched onto the comment, dissecting the dynamics of jealousy, ego, and Chrisean's hunger for revenge. But this saga was no longer confined to gossip circles. Behind the scenes, the music business was scrambling. A leaked email from a label tied to Chrisean's distribution deal revealed panic. Its subject line read, "Brand Risk Mitigation Strategy, Rock vs. Cardi Fallout." The message, dated 2 days after the livestream, laid out plans to stall Chrisean's rollout, pausing promotional pushes, delaying interviews, and holding back tour announcements, all while bracing for possible lawsuits. Chrisean's scheme had spiraled beyond her control. What she thought would be a strike at Cardi's image turned into a firestorm threatening her own career. And while the world dissected every angle of the drama, one thing was certain: Cardi was not just watching. She was preparing her next move. Cardi began reshaping her image in silence, scrubbing Offset from her socials, tweaking her bios, and booking solo appearances until a 12-second Instagram reel flipped the narrative, a diamond ring spinning on marble with the caption, "You can keep him. Try keeping me." The post racked up over 8 million views in 3 hours and instantly split the rap world. Some women rallied behind Cardi, while others shockingly defended Chrisean. Asian Doll declared, "She said what needed to be said." Cardi been throwing shade, while Ruby Rose co-signed a tweet warning, "Cardi played with the wrong one. Chrisean ain't industry. She war." He jumped on live insisting, "Y'all mad at Chrisean for doing what every other rapper's man been doing quietly." Nicki Minaj never mentioned names, but her cryptic post, "One thing about karma, she don't miss," sent the barbs into overdrive, framing it as shade without saying a word. Reaction channels from Impressive to Armin Wiggins and Mob Radio streamed marathon debates, drawing thousands into heated chats over whether Chrisean was exposing the game or simply exploiting it. What began as a messy cheating saga quickly turned into something larger than music, a cultural flashpoint asking what happens when women stop protecting industry narratives and start using exposure as power, where revenge becomes its own brand and the lines between love, lust, and warfare blur beyond recognition. Offset has remained silent. Cardi seems determined to reshape her image, and Chrisean is climbing higher through chaos, confession, and controversy, but the industry is trembling as it waits for what comes next. Her midnight post was not just another round of Offset receipts. It introduced a new, unexpected player that turned the ongoing Cardi-Offset Chrisean saga into something far bigger. When three red names appeared, Offset, Cardi, and Jada Cheeves, the hip-hop world froze. Jada, best known as Lil Baby's ex, had never been tied to this drama before, which is why the next revelation sent shockwaves. A voice memo surfaced from a woman who nervously but clearly claimed that Cardi despised Chrisean, wanted her blackballed from the industry, and that Jada was part of the plan. Instantly, fans began piecing together theories, painting a picture of alliances and backdoor schemes that went far beyond personal betrayal. Chrisean fueled the fire even further with a chilling promise. This was not about one night or one fight, but about everything they had done to her in secret, and she insisted she had the receipts to prove it. From recordings at private parties to conversations with insiders, alleged DMs from female rappers, and even texts from Jada warning her not to challenge Cardi, she hinted at an arsenal ready to explode. The climax came with one haunting message on her post: "The last tape drops Friday." Not an interview, not a post, a tape. That single line turned speculation into hysteria as fans wondered just how deep this web ran and whether Jada herself might have been caught dragging Cardi on audio. What once looked like a love triangle was now unraveling into a potential industry scandal that threatened to expose the hidden power games of Atlanta's hip-hop elite. Chrisean has turned the music world into a battlefield, and she is moving with a confidence that makes the chaos around her even more unnerving. The most shocking twist is Offset's sudden disappearance. His camp admitted he skipped a planned studio session, while his bodyguard briefly uploaded a cryptic "pray for bro" message before deleting it. Meanwhile, Cardi's team is stonewalling reporters, refusing to comment, while Chrisean casually posts selfies and promotes her new track as if she is completely unfazed, almost as though she knows she is sitting on a weapon powerful enough to shatter careers. According to her, both Cardi and Jada conspired to blacklist her, but instead, they fell into her carefully set trap. Cardi is now fortifying her brand with legal shields, Jada has gone eerily silent, and Chrisean is preparing to unleash her final tape this Friday, hinting it carries evidence so damaging it could permanently end careers. No one knows whether it is an incriminating phone call, a leaked video, confidential documents, or a hacked private chat, but the anticipation is swallowing the industry whole. What began as a messy triangle of rivalry has now expanded into a dangerous square, with Chrisean, Cardi, Jada, and Offset all trapped in the center. The stage is set, the evidence is dropping, and the world is holding its breath to see who will be the first to crumble.